Hello, good evening, and a very warm welcome to Rangers Radio.
Well, hello, good evening. Welcome to Rangers Radio. Join myself, Foxter, on the show tonight is the Dream Team. Evening, Stephen.
Good evening, Ox. Good evening, my wingman. It's definitely not a Wednesday, that's for sure.
Yes, it feels like Wednesday. Evening, Southside.
Dad, when he said that, I was thinking Wednesday, no, this is Monday. Hi, good evening to everybody listening this evening, all the trips on YouTube, and well, good to be on a Monday with my big mucker.
Yes, listen, there's a big question that we've got to answer, and I hope you two are the men that can help me on unlock the riddle. No pun intended there, Stevie, but how are they going to divide up the camper van? Southside.
I want the front here anyway. I'll take the front section. And I don't know about you what to do with the rest of it, but camper van, it holds what, 6 or 8? This one, is it 8?
Aye, well, aye, it's quite a good deal. Aye. It's a nice one, isn't it? It's a nice one. It's for
Yeah. I'll go for the back door. I like a quick escape.
There's too many lines there, Stevie, but I better leave.
I know, I was going to better just not say nothing. Kick your back door in, big, you know it.
Oh, man.
Right, okay. We'll laugh. Right, okay. What we're going to do tonight is we're going to look at the match last night, and then people want to join us. Obviously, we can talk about the things that's happening after the field, which we seem to be making all the headlines. We'll look at the game yesterday, 3-1. In a normal season, and use normal, if you were maybe in a hunt, you'd take that as a tick in the box, you move on. The first half was okay. First 10 minutes of the second half was okay. Last 30 minutes, we just get worse and worse and worse, in my opinion. But, however, we did win the game really easily. And if I'm honest, Southside, they're the worst team I've seen at Ibrox all season.
Aye, they were poor. Don't think that manager's going to last long there, but it looks it might be down to their resources and what, I don't know. But they were probably one of the poorest teams I've seen at Ibrox this season. But we started off quick. Ox were on the front foot, and I thought the players were, when we gave away a stupid pass, Raskin done one in the first half. I don't know, he was standing himself and he just passed it to the player within 5 yards to him. But when we gave the ball away, at times we seemed to go and hunt it and get it back. So I thought at the start, first 25 minutes, I thought that the players were on it. You know, they were moving about, they were getting down the line. We were basically just attacking them. It was wave after a wave against them. Final balls and that at times, some of them weren't good enough until eventually we get the first goal. But I thought we dominated the first 25 minutes without any question at all.
We're complete control, mate, without really threatening the goal that much. I agree with you. Somebody that would pass the ball reasonably well without being outstanding. I don't know about Ridvan playing in the right. You know, I know it worked against them 10 days ago or whatever. However, the last couple of games, it's not been a big success for me, and I don't want to put all the blame on him because it's a team game, Stevie. But I don't know. We need some balance to our side there.
Aye. Listen, that's only going to last for so long, and then he's going to get fun out, isn't he? No, it's as plain and simple as that. But I've got to say, I think you hit the nail on the head when you talked about the St Johnston team yesterday. The defending was... Listen, I thought our defence was bad to have seen theirs. Theirs was woeful. Absolutely. But I'm not taking all the credit away for Rangers. I mean, that's how you should be at home. 3 goals, bump, game done for half-time. And then the second half, man. I know we're going to talk about the second half. I'm not going to run away with it. But like Sabir Advan and that, they're playing out of position. But solid. No, so many games. He was brilliant against Celtic. I've got to say. he's done all right. He's been flung into a position, you know, he's uncomfy and probably, and he's doing a no bad job, but eventually he'll get fun out.
Doesn't excuse you not doing the basics, mate. The 10-yard pass with right or left, mate, yeah. And your decision making, you know. I don't know if sometimes it gets into people's head. I think sometimes, Southside, we overcomplicate the game.
Aye, I think once we got the goals yesterday, and like you say, we've got a couple of players playing out of position. I thought against Tibbs and all, he was all right. But like you say, it can't continue, but we need to try and find a solution. I think we'll probably have to find one next week when JFT's suspended, so we'll have to find one then, no doubt. But aye, we started well. We got the 3 goals, like Stevie's saying, and we got them up in the first half. And then obviously, I thought second half, straight away, he would have made some subs. I was thinking towards the Aberdeen game, and I was thinking, listen, it's 3-0, the game's done. They're not going to score probably one. I'm not sure what they might. I think they'd even score one. But they weren't certainly coming back into the game. And I thought maybe at half time he might have made the changes right at half time, at least 2 players on, 2 off. But he didn't. He came back out with the same 11, you know. But listen, the job's done, Ox. It was done at half time, you know. And then everybody knew it was going to come later on. So, second half, you'd want to see better, but it is what it is. It was just a typical day all around for everybody. And it was an eerie game when you went down this. Even going to the game yesterday, even travelling down to Ibrox, it was quite quiet. Roads weren't as busy and stuff and that, you know. So it was just one of the days where you had a feeling that it wasn't. I'm trying to find a word for it, but didn't it feel like, well, we seen those
expectations weren't there, mate?
No, I'm always expecting Rangers to win at Ibrox, Ox, but it just felt like it would be a all crowded day to a point, you know. There's a lot of people peed off, is understandable, but it wasn't as busy going down yesterday and that, so it was just felt as if it was going to be one of the days. But I was glad we were 3 up at half time, mate, because that was a game done at that point as far as I was concerned.
Aye, well, the first goal came just after a quarter of an hour. Just when I thought, oh, here we go, how we no beat this mob? And I don't know what the boy done out in the touchline, Stevie. He goes out for the throw in. He takes a quick throw in. I can't remember who took the throw in. It went to Diamandi. He played it in. And one man's there. Iggy, man. A good finish, Stevie. A good finish. A centre forward's finish.
Of course it was, aye. The wee man's a shining light for us, isn't he? He's a wee glimmer of hope now, isn't he? You know, going to the game, you know, he's big man's there, and I hope he get. I had him down for 2 goals, by the way, so there you go. But aye, he tucked it away well. And what I like about the boy is, Ox, he's a breath of fresh air when it comes to he'll try anything. See the overheat kick he tried.
Aye.
People would have that, you know.
Carry on, mate. Sorry.
No, just before that, before we scored, a ball came in and all, and he had that kind of wild dig through outside the box and all. He's right fit, you know, a kind of outside of the fit dig at the goal. He's trying things that people wouldn't try, and that's what I like about the boy. He's got a bit of swagger about him. He's fresh, he's different, and he's quite confident. So that's for me glimmer of hope. But well done to the wee man. He tucked it away well, definitely.
12 and 12, Southside. Can't argue with the boy.
No, like Stevie said, it seen that wee sort of one at the edge of the box where he tried to dink it first time. He's thoughtful, he's got a brain in his head, and you could see the only way that he could have put that ball on target and he thought about it was to try and do a bicycle kick, which never came off, but the thought was there. His link-up play is good, and like we've seen from him, he's been pretty decent. Still, again, he came out the box quite a bit for me yesterday and all again, and sometimes he was out the box and he didn't get the ball at all. The ball was past him, played the ball down the line to Shefty, who's trying to cross it in, and he's not in the box. He's standing 15, 18 yards outside the box, out the road. He came to go short and just missed him out. So, probably been stay a wee bit more in the box. But listen, he's scoring goals. He's a shining light up front. You can give him the ball and you can hold it in, and he can try and look after it for you. So, aye, at the moment, he's having a good wee spell at the club. He's got to keep doing it consistently like the rest of them if they get to his sort of level at the moment.
And then we get the second goal, and a nice pass for Danilo. And where you sit, I know you'd have got a decent view. Onside, mate, the same boy made a mess of it was playing him on the main stand side. So he walked down and he scored. And listen, I think he scored more goals than we thought he would. Cherny, good finish, 2-0 Southside.
Aye. I think Hadji played him a ball through just before it. And he I thought he was going to go and have a go with the goalie, but he pelted it, Cherny. But within a couple of minutes, he got the ball back again, and Danilo played a lovely pass. It was a great tackle for Proper on the halfway line and all. He went in and won the ball, and it dropped to Danilo. It was a good pass, and he finished it with a plum to Danilo. Thought it was a really good finish. Technically, I thought it was really clever of him.
Aye, 2-0, mate. Then quite quickly, Stevie gets the third. I don't know what the centre half was thinking about, do you?
Oh, definitely no. Reminded me of the Bridgeman defending. Just a big daft header up there. We man just ran on it and headered that, and it was woeful. The Bridgeman would have had that headered up in the other penalty box. But can I just say something about Cherny there? You were talking about Cherny, Hawks.
Aye.
That was an excellent finish by Cherny. How many times has he done that run through and just tucked it by the goalie now? He's done it when he's been offside as well. So I've got to say, you've got to give credit when it's true. Cherny tucked that away lovely, by the way. That was a nice wee ding to the left-hand side of the keeper, and then it rolled. Excellent goal. And then the third goal, as you said, the big defender. What's he thinking about? My God, when he sees that again, he'll be embarrassed.
There was no danger. I think you can let it go, personally. Don't know what you thought, Southside.
He shouldn't have put his head anywhere near it. It was a bit of good fortune for us, actually, because when Cherny put the ball in, he was really putting it into nobody, wasn't he? We got the lucky big and decided to try and clear it with the head, and it fell perfect for Diamande. Being in the penalty box, and he did it in the corner well. I thought the first goal was good and all. See, the first goal was scored when Danilo worked hard to put that defender under pressure for it to go for a throw-in, and he took it quickly to Cherny, and Diamande had made that good run and stayed onside, and then the cut back to Ignaman. So even the first goal, the way Danilo fought to get the ball and win the throw-in and then go grab the ball and take it quickly, so it showed that they still had the urgency, although at that point we weren't really creating an awful lot, but it was a well-worked goal, and like I say, the third one was a shambles for their side, and good fortune for us, to be honest.
Aye, so we get 3-0, and if I'd have said to you at that point we wouldn't score again for the rest of the game, you'd have given me decent odds, Steve, here.
Definitely, because we're saying to ourselves, right, let's crack on here, get another couple, even another couple in the second half. We seem to be against St Mirren, Motherwell, what are these teams only playing one half? For me, Hawks, that's far from no good enough, man. One half each game, doesn't matter if you had a bad first half, a good second half. It's the opposite way about. They're only playing one half. It's really woeful. No, I mean, against Celtic, it's the only game you can say, wow, we've done them big time. No, hit the bar, hit the post, 1-3, nothing. It could have been more, only for their goalie. But apart from that, they're only playing one half, and that's the good. And another thing, I know you're going to talk about maybe a wee bit of the second half, but the players we're bringing on, big Bezers and the boy in the wing and the young Irish boy, they're not doing nothing when they come on. They're contributing absolutely hee-haw. The wee guy had one shot at goal. It was a good save with the keeper in the second half. But apart from that, dearie me, absolute woeful.
Look, I'm sure we'll come to that, mate, but I'm struggling to disagree. So, listen, Southside, as I said, long odds that we wouldn't score again. Second half started, and we started in the same vein. And I think it was Cherny could have made it 4.
Aye, that wee slide passed through to him. I thought he was going to drill it into the bottom left-hand corner. But for some reason, he hit it right sort of towards the goalkeeper. And it was a save for him. That was early doors in the second half. You're talking about that one with Tierney, but it was a nice pass. Now, to be honest, I expected him to finish it, but he didn't. Hit the target, but didn't he? Should have finished it.
Aye, so man, that was the major highlight in the first few minutes of the second half. After that, the tempo seemed to fall out of our game. We were pretty ponderous. We weren't moving it as quick as we should, and then, as Stevie said, we made some substitutes. I thought Cortez, I'll be polite, let's just say he looked ring rusty, Stevie.
Mate, I would have honestly says he got something in the pipeline, and he's just, to me, I know the boy's injured, and I know he's trying to get back and get match fit in games and all the rest of it. You've got to look at the bigger picture, but he just seems too light for me for the Scottish game, mate. I got to say it how it is. I don't think the boy's built for our game. I really don't. I just don't. I think if somebody gives him a hard tackle, that's him. He's off. He's out the game after that. I just don't think he's got it, mate. I know there's other people probably do think the boy's got it, and maybe I'm wrong. It's a wee bit early with him being injured and coming back. He's not getting a full run. I might not be being a bit fair on the boy, but I just don't think he contributes to the team. I really don't. And since he's been here, I don't think he's contributed at all. That's just my opinion. Cortez, the Deserts, and the young boy McCausland. McCausland's regressed. He's went back away. McCausland, he was a wee breath of fresh air at one time, something fresh and new, and we thought he'll crack on, and he's no cracked on, mate. He's went back away. He's done hee-haw, nothing when he's come on the part or not, and it's really disappointing with McCausland, because we talk about homegrown players and knowing the club and everything else. He's an Ulster man with a background just something similar to myself, and you think he'd be going out there to fight and die for that jersey. I just don't see any of fight and dying after that young boy.
I think that you maybe nailed a few things on the head there, mate. Maybe our squad's not as strong as it should be, but Cortez, mate, look, I don't want to throw him in the wool, Stevie, but Southside, sorry. But that performance, even as a substitute, was poor. As the whole team started playing poor, if we're honest.
Aye.
Listen, I've championed him on here and said to you when he gets back to fitness and gets a few months down the road, regular sort of spots, gets his touch and he's running back and everything else he needs to do, get match fitness up, he will certainly make a difference to our team. So I'll disagree with the two of you, and you'll see it in time. He's here for the long haul, and he'll definitely be a big part of the squad. Whether come once here or no in time, he still will be.
Oh,
and I think he'll prove it. Listen, he nearly scored yesterday. He was just on, and it was his left foot, and he drilled it into the bottom corner, and it was been in if the goalie hadn't made a really good save. But at other points in the game yesterday, I thought he lacked, and then there's wee bits I thought he'd done all right, but nowhere near enough is what I was looking for. But listen, it's early steps for him. He's been out for quite a bit, 3 times with different injuries. Needs a bit of time to come back, get some game time, get some games under his belt.
Confidence and all.
Listen, when your fitness is really down, Nora, if I ask you to run for Partick to Annie's Land, I'm sure you'll do it, but you'll probably be knackered the first day you do it, and it might take you a bit of time, and then you do it another couple of days later until by the end of the next couple of months down the line, you'll be running for Partick to Annie's Land, no bother. So it's like him coming back into the football. It's the same idea. He's got to come in and get game time, match fitness. So it's building it up in spells. That's what they're doing. And I'd loved him to have scored yesterday. That shot he had played much better. But he will be a good player in time, I think, because he's got no fear about going and taking defenders on when he's got the ball. He showed you when he came first time for the 6 months on loan. Contributed, scored a few goals, assisted. So, and he's with injuries. The boy's got a talent, and I think in time he'll show you. And he will battle and fight for you, I think, Stevie. But we'll see. That's how he'll be judged as the season goes on and next season. But I think he's a talent, and I think he'll do well for us in the long run.
Just for the record, can I not run Ferry's Land to Partick? It's Dunhill.
And just for the record, I'm for the drum. No Harry's Lander party.
Yeah, I had that conversation with you the other night, did I know?
Yes, you did.
You said
Yeah.
you'd cut your time down to 2 hours.
I'd probably be mugged twice going a run through here in Harry's Lander. Get through tempo. Anyway. Listen, boys, it is what it is. Where we are, some of the players, as I said, Southside, I might be a wee bit naughty with the boy there, but I've got to say, the boy's too lightweight for my liking. I just can't see that side of the game in him. I can't see him being a dirty player or getting in about it. And I know we shouldn't look at the game that way, but
Is he any heavier or lighter than Cherney?
We've just not got enough iron in the team, mate. We've definitely no. And I know in modern football, and maybe I'm old-fashioned with the teams and guys that I've seen, but I just don't think we've got enough iron in the team. I don't think we've got enough of it. It is what it is. He's a young boy. Let him get his fitness. We'll give him a chance. Okay, well, that's all I
Right. If you're critiquing yesterday's game on its own, you've got to be fair. Yeah, I didn't think he was great, but I'm not throwing him at the wolves.
No.
It's not the first guy coming back for an injury. He's no went on and lost a game. But what I'm also saying, his defence, is he come on, everybody else stopped playing Southside.
Well, Dresser's come on, didn't he, and didn't really get much chances of putting them through and go, or putting a chance in front of him, and Ross McCausland was on, and it wasn't. So, listen, it petered out. Sometimes it happens when you make it after substitution. Sometimes you hope it energises it and that. But yesterday, and I think just everything that was happening about the stadium and how quiet it was and that, everything the whole day just summed it up. But at the end of the day, we got the victory.
Aye. Listen, man of the match yesterday for you, gentlemen.
You go first, Southside.
Sorry, what did you ask me there?
Man of the match yesterday.
Man of the match.
Hard one, isn't
it? Aye, it is.
I'll give it to Cherney. I like his goal, and he was unlucky a couple of times with different bits and bobs.
Aye, probably because of the goal he scored, the way he scored it and that. And when he was on the ball, he was quite lively and trying to make things happen. But aye, he was probably the best at most. I thought Yefty had no a bad game as well, to be honest. I thought he was pretty decent.
I've got a wee issue with Yefty at the moment, mate. Yeah?
What's the matter with you?
Right, okay. Listen, I know he's learning his trade. I get on that. But see, when he burst on with that fresh air, he just went forward, put it in with that left foot. If you think back to the away game in Kiev, we thought, oh, what have we got here? We've got that left foot. Now, he's I don't know if it's just he's been coached to keep possession or it's just a confidence thing. I don't know, or a combination of both. He's getting opportunities. Just seen it in the first half. He's a guy, he's got pace. And we know he's got that left foot on him that he can put it in because we've seen it. And he's not doing it, mate. There's opportunities. It's just, for me, it's just a simple game. He gets down there, puts it in, and he takes a chance. You buy a raffle, Stevie, and you see where it takes you. Just some of the notes in the last few weeks, mate. Yeah.
Aye. See, a bit of frustration for me with the boy is sometimes he could be 1-on-1 with a defender. You're just saying, hit it by him and run. Because he's got pace to burn, man. He really has got pace to burn. No, sometimes he shows you that wee blast when he kind of brings it and kind of drags it and cuts inside and he's away, you know. And I just wish sometimes when he's out in the touchline with a winger, just hit the ball by him and run. He's got a burst of pace, man. And nobody's catching him. But, aye, listen, all the players are frustrating me now.
Aye, I get that. Listen, just something of himself, Southside. I still like him. I think he's got there's something about him. How good he's going to be, I don't know, but and I think he's played a lot more games than people would have thought. But just something I picked up in the last couple of games, mate.
Nah, a couple of times he has burst in the line, and a couple of times he's looked across. There's nobody in the box. I think he's been good. I think he was sharp at the start of the game, and I thought he done pretty well yesterday. So I've not really got any issues with him at all. I think we've seen he's getting better. He'll probably have the odd bad game here and there, or no so good a game, but I think on the whole he's been pretty decent for us. So I've been quite happy with him, if I'm honest.
What age is he?
21, just turned 21, mate.
21. That's not bad. It's his first season. He's finding his feet. So he's been no bad. No too bad. You know, just I think he'll be a better player for us next. Always a league, find his feet, settled down a wee bit there.
I only know that because I was in the 5th year when he was starting, you know. But listen, just a small critique of his game. But somebody else I want to pick on the goal we lost yesterday. And we're set up, and I know we've been okay for corners. But what we've done is we've got everybody at the front post. You put it in the back post, it's not there. I don't know if you picked up on that south side, yeah. And the boy got a run on Hadji. Could have been a foul, mate, if I'm honest.
Look, I thought, see where I was sitting, I thought when he got the head on the ball, he had a Hoddy's jersey for where I was sitting.
He did.
But I only got the one look at it, and I thought it might have just been the fact that he jumped him and sort of bundled him out the road. But at first, when I seen it, I thought he had a Hoddy's jersey. Or did it show you that? Aye.
Oh, you can see it, mate. It was, listen, would I have been looking for a goal? Stevie?
Want to tell me something? How does the Rangers not put anybody at the back post in corners? How does that not happen? We used to do it all the time, front and back post. I just
Stephen Davis used to do it, didn't he?
Aye, yep, aye. And how many times did they clear balls off a line in a season? Can I just say, I just thought Hadji was bullied a wee bit with a big boy, and I thought wee Radvan, I think, was the nearest to him after that. And you know the script, wee Radvan's tiny, he can get his legs to his passport 40. I've said that a million times. You know, I just think any decent high ball into our box, we're just not dealing with it now. And to be fair, yesterday I thought we weren't too bad. The big boy in Ciala, is it you call him? I mean, he's just finding his feet terrible again, no? So we've got to cut him a bit of slack there, but we need to deal with boys like proper and that. No, I don't get. Our tallest guy in our team, Mark's probably the weakest guy in their team at corner kicks. But how do we do that? How does that come about?
Well, one of the two guys that's won a lot of heavers for us, bizarrely in defensive, seems to be Raskin and Niggerman. Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned in Salah yesterday. Well, at the game, I don't know if you two fine gentlemen would have picked up on it, and neither did I in my initial watch. And Salah went down, and when you seen the replay, you're thinking, oh, what's he done? What's he done? He's thrown himself down, and then you see it when it shows you for a certain angle. I don't know if you've seen it, boys. There's a wee player for St Johnston, a wee sleek it, elbow to the face. Now, I don't know the power in it, because only they'll know. But when you've seen the playback, I don't know if anybody agrees or disagrees. It's a red card and it's a penalty kick. He's elbowed him in the face, in my opinion.
So where was that?
That was the second half. Even in Salah went down, mate, and they brought him on and got some treatment, yeah. It wasn't the guy that was marking him. It was the other defender who just took a wee step back and left one on him. In my opinion, I don't think you gentlemen would have noticed it. South side.
I noticed he took a knock in the face, but I didn't know what had actually happened. I taken it because it was quite quick when it happened yesterday. And because he'd been doing hard in his face and you thought something had happened and you seen him with the ref camera, I thought maybe they'll look at something because it's possibly off the ball. Or it's a tackle and maybe the ref was shocking yesterday. I know, wasn't very clever at times with some of his decisions. But no, probably VAR should have looked at it. If you're saying, I've not seen any replays back Ox at all. But if you're saying it's an elbow to his face.
It wasn't a defender, it was marking him. it was another defender. I can't remember who was Martin. But you just had a wee look, bump right in the chin.
And they VAR to look at it.
Well,
Or Lels
VAR
probably
was
looked at it and then never bothered.
Aye. You know, aye, it was a sleek at one in my opinion. A sleek at one and should have been picked up on.
Well, it's off the ball. It's an off the ball incident. It should have been looked at. And right away, if you're telling us we're going by your word, the boys stuck one on him with the elbow. No, at the end of the day, if you do that with your elbow, you're off the park and it's a penalty kick. So there again, it could have been a case out. The Rangers get a penalty and that's it. The game totally done. They're on their hands and knees and that's it. And instead of that, they're clawing their way into the game. They get a goal. And then, you know what I mean? So big decisions have gone against us all the time, Ox. And it's not a coincidence. I'm not having all this. I'm not wanting to sound like an idiot saying every incident's against us like a big daft boy, you know, but the bottom line is you've got to question some of these decisions, man. VAR does the lie. It's the people that use it that do that.
Well, what I seen when I initially seen that incident, I was quite annoyed with Salah. I'm thinking, oh, what you been doing with it? There's been the boys no touched you watching the defender who was marking them, mate. And then I think it was the second time I seen it. I went, oh, yeah. And that's when I picked up that no, other people may have a different opinion. And also, I don't know the force that was behind it, Stevie, you know what I mean?
Aye. We get that big boy face in Milan, didn't we?
Yes.
What is his nationality? He's not Italian, is he?
No, I think he's. I think he might be French, mate. I'll check that out, mate.
Is he? Aye. No, we were talking. I was just sitting in my normal seat, and I was with my good friend, Mr. Black, and I asked him, and he didn't know either, and so we were kind of puzzled. We knew that he came from AC Milan, but we didn't think he was Italian. But there you go. But he's only a young guy, I know, eh? He must only be 20, 21.
Aye, he's young as well. He's young. Listen, when your good friend seen him come down, he must have thought, oh, get the measuring tape out of
Right, that's it. That's enough.
Yeah. Aye, listen, just the way I seen it. Cheering the man in the match when they argue with that, I don't think Ned was outstanding yesterday. Diamandi done okay at times. Raskin done okay at times. You know, so aye, there was nobody outstanding. It was just a routine one at Ibrox. But we needed it just to try and pick up some confidence before we play Aberdeen on Wednesday. But however, that wasn't the story. It was making all the headlines. It was more the stuff after part. Listen, people are going to see it different, and what we'll do is we'll get the phone lines open, and then I'll hear from you two gentlemen. Is that all right?
That's a plan. I'll go first this time.
No problem.
Age before beauty. Well, let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Well, Stephen, the floor is yours.
Well, it's as plain and simple as this, Ox. I have got no problem whatsoever with anybody protesting, especially peacefully. Not like my friends across the city, the way they protest, no. But I've no problem with the boys going out at 55 minutes. I never went, but the simple reason is I stayed to the 90 minutes to support the team. The bottom line for me is I think protests are either before the game or after the game. We've got visitors coming from Belfast. We've got guys in hospitality. They're never going to leave. I mean, what's the sense in people travelling 8 hours, boats, buses and everything else to get to Ibrox, leaving in 55 minutes, especially when they've got kids with them and everything else. And then you've got all the boys paying big dough to get into hospitality, the Ramsey place and across the main stand, all the different hospitality packages are there. they're never going to leave. Free drink at the end of the game, they're never going to leave at 55 minutes. I don't think it was fought fully through. But as I said, I can understand why they're doing it. I've no problem with them doing it. But I decided to stay. And when the boys did decide to walk out, they paid their money. That's their prerogative. Let them walk out. I said, no, I'm staying. That was my prerogative, in my opinion. But see the Rangers fans that booed them for walking out, I just think they played right into the left wing media's hands and all the haters of the club. But that's right up their street. How did they not just say, well, that's your prerogative, on you go, but we're staying? What they booing for? They just cause more divide, booing. I mean, I'm going to tell you something. I said to my boy when he came in for the game, he was with his girlfriend up in our seats, and I came in and I said, did you leave at 55? And he said, I did. I says, Jamie, protests are for the end of the match. Go to back the team, blah, blah, blah. He says, Dad, I'm 17 and a half. I've hardly seen the Bears winning anything. He says, I want a bit of change. And I can't argue with him, right? I really can't argue with him. So that's who's divided. I stayed, he went. And that's what's happening. But can I tell you, it was awful to hear Bears turning on Bears. I never thought I'd see that as bad. And some of the stuff, some of the stuff I was listening to, and I just wish they would have used their head. Let the boys peacefully protest. They walked out. Let them go to the front door when they walk out and do what they've got to do. And anybody that didn't like what they've done, just, you're doing what you're doing. You've got your opinion. Stay in the ground and support the team to the end. End of story. But the booing, the jeering, the shouting and bawling, and I think in some parts of the ground at fisticuffs, that breaks my heart in two oaks. That's no the Rangers' way. That is what's happening. But I've just explained to you how my young boy and me, how we've got different opinions in the one house. But I must say, I can't really argue. Jamie's nearly 18. He's never seen Rangers really win anything the way I have. So he's wanting to do something about it. He's missed one game this season. One game. And it was Parkhead because we can't get tickets. And there were people jeering him going down the stair. Some of them were actually, I can't say it on here, but some of them were shouting about the opposite. Aye. And Jamie's like, man, I just laughed all the way down the stairs. But that's Jamie's prerogative. He paid his season ticket money. If he wants to walk out 55, that's up to him. If guys want to go for the subway at 80 minutes, that's their prerogative. They should be booing them. And if anybody disagrees with me, well, this is a place to sort it out. This is a platform for the Bears. But I'll tell you, it turned a wee bit sour. The atmosphere was sour with people running about, and I thought, man, wow, this is the Rangers way. Bears don't turn on Bears. No chance. No chance. This is right up their street, right up the media, left-wing media street, and that's what was breaking my heart. I like to keep things in-house. Yeah, that's my point on it.
Listen, I think there's definitely a generational divide in some aspects of it, but I don't think it's just generational. I think people are genuinely frustrated. Fans, supporters, people who care about the club, investors, shareholders. Everybody's frustrated, and it's very, very difficult outside to say there's no mistakes made. Some of them in hindsight, but
aye, there's some mistakes obviously being made. We've seen it early period of time, with the way that we've bought players and they've not turned up and they're a waste of money and we've squandered it. They've backed certain managers more than others, and they put money in when they could and tried to get a team together, but it's been stinking since Gerrard left. Let's not be kidded. Gio got us to a European final, which I never thought I'd ever see again after Manchester, but aye, it's but we didn't win it. So for me, it's done. No, it was good at the time, and it was a great achievement, but we didn't win it. And we need to get back to winning bread and butter in Scotland, and Stevie's similar to what he's saying. My boy's the same. Seen one league title, one Scottish Cup, one League Cup. No good enough. No, last time he seen a league victory was when I took him to Kilmarnock. 2011, apart from the 55 season, and even at that, we weren't even in Ibrox to see it because of COVID. But I respect everybody that chose to leave in 55 minutes yesterday. And I echo what Stevie said. It was called by the Rangers Supporters Association, and the Union Bears put a statement out. I think it was short notice. I think it was shorter notice. I think if you didn't leave in 55, maybe they'd stayed in the whole game, didn't sing like they chose not today, which is fair enough. Put the banners up, chant then, maybe had stayed and then left. Maybe it might have been a bit better. I don't know. You could still have showed you. I applauded when their banners went up. There's people round about me, some applauded and a lot didn't. But that's everybody's prerogative. I thought their banners were loud and clear, and I thought there was the right message of what they put up. I think if you'd maybe had a protest after the game outside the stadium or before it, I think a lot of people would have went to that. If it had been before the game started, I would probably have went down myself, if I'm honest. But people leaving and then getting jeered by the support isn't good at all. It's no good. And even the fans that were all still in the stadium choosing to sing at that minute for a couple of songs and then go quiet for the rest of the game, I thought wasn't right either. These young boys, I know a lot of people have got a problem with the Union Bears, right? They've scored some own goals. I get it, right? But also, they create a lot of noise and colour at the stadium. They spend thousands of pounds going to watch Rangers week in, week out, home and away, and abroad. Now, you know how much that costs you to do all that, right? So they spend the hard-earned cash making sure that they can get to all the games, as many as possible. And sometimes they do things wrong and sometimes they do things right. They chose to leave, and I think the support booing them was out of order. I don't think it's right at all that we're turning on each other. I remember it when it was John Gregg and all that, Bears fighting each other in the old enclosure. I've watched it growing up when I was younger. And it's no nice that we're turning on each other. We're stronger together, and we'll always be stronger together.
I'll be back to the camper van again.
That camper van will be. That sounds like that camper van's going up for a divorce. I think I heard that one. I'll be getting split, all right. But no, it's no good to see Bears shouting at Bears. And if Jamie, like Stevie's saying, is taking abuse going down the stairs, that boy goes everywhere to watch the Rangers. Is like you say, he's missed one game, spends a lot of money, and if he feels like he wants to leave, then fair enough to him. I've not got an issue with it. And I think the rest of the supporters that had a go at probably the Union Bears more than others. There's lots of other people walking out, and some probably got abuse. There was a few people walked out in certain bits that I seen in other stands and all that, and perfectly up to themselves. I just hope now that, okay, that's that done now, right? We've showed displeasure to the board and everything that's been said. It's what do you actually want to do now? Are we staying united as a support to the end of the season, or are we going to keep this up? The way I look at it now is we've got a new CEO and a new chairman. So let's see, let him get building blocks in place, and let's see how he starts to fill what we need done behind the scenes at the club. Football results need to improve away from him, and we need to keep winning as a team. But I just hope the support don't get divided. I hope we stay united. And that's the way I want it to be, because we're stronger together, mate.
Listen, I don't know if, as I said, I get where you're coming from with young boys that maybe not seen the success, and they're desperate for a decent team, and they've had a bit of a taste of it, but we won the league and they couldn't celebrate and all the stuff that goes with it during the COVID thing. So I understand their frustrations. And also, when you're younger, Stevie, you're more impatient, eh?
Oh, of course you are. Of course you are. You would lose the battle. You would win the battle or lose the war, wouldn't you, when you're younger? Well, you just get into things heed first. But listen, Ox, I can't disagree with my boy. When he came in for the game and I asked him about it and I gave him my opinion, he gave me his, and I looked at him and I thought, boy's right. I mean, Nini's, me or Jamie, or Southside or you, Nini's like being 15 points behind the kiddie fiddlers. Nini's, we're not happy. There's ways of doing things, but And I just don't think a walkout at 55 was right. Go before or go after the game and do your business. By all means, don't sing, put your banners up during the game, but don't walk out in the team. And that's all I tell my boy. But when he telling me that I'm 17 and a half, nearly 18, I've hardly seen the Bears winning anything. I go every week, I go everywhere. And I just wanted a peaceful protest, walk down the stair, walk out the building, and I'm getting jeered by other Rangers fans and shouted at along with hundreds of other ones that left. That's no right. That's no right. And I'm making a plea to all the Bears out there and all these platforms that's listening. Let's learn for this. Let's learn for it. Stay together. Stay united. You had Europe, the biggest majority stayed on the ground. So that's their opinion. They stayed to back the team. The boys left in a peaceful protest. Look at the protest that went on across the city. Fences getting flung, the players getting chased in the cars and motor windies getting in and everything. Look at the way their peaceful protests were. Our boys done a peaceful protest. They should never be booed with other Rangers fans. That's how I just see it. Whether they're right, whether their opinion's different from mine, they shouldn't have been booed. We just played into other people's songs when we done that. And I'm making a plea. Come on, let's learn for it. Let's stay with my wingman saying, let's stay united. United we stand, divided we fall. Come on.
If we take the crux of the matter, I think the main frustration at the moment is maybe through the manager. And listen, at times there's been different opinions on here, and I think if we're honest, Southside, people will be surprised how heated they are off air and how many people have got different opinions. But when they've come out on Saturday and they've made the statement that at this moment in time, which can always change, that the board are backing the manager, so we're hoping for the short term. Yeah, there might be things in place that we're not aware about our conversations. Now, I'm not been happy for over a year. Even when we were on the good run, I spoke about his shape away from him. I've always had a problem with it. We never win the midfield the way the other teams set up against us, Southside.
Maybe, but I get tired listening to the shape. The shape's all right when we win. Shape was nothing wrong when we battered Celtic there at Ibrox. Shape is nothing wrong with the shape. But it's always something wrong when we struggle or we can't get a result. Maybe away from him, you might have a couple of, you might be right in certain things, but I think away from him lately, your performances, 45 minutes in the first half against St Mirren, abysmal, our goalkeeper, giving away a penalty, pitch you right down straight away. Motherwell, we only got to park about 3 times, but we had most possession and we're 2-0 done. That's what's got us. It is frustrating, but listen, it's the same way. If we're going to keep unrest all season, right, we're trying to attract a player or two. He's already said we're trying to get a couple of players in the door. So depending agent might turn into a player and say, I got the road, then he goes, well, what's happening up there? They're walking out, they want rid of the manager, they want rid of a board, they want rid of this, they want rid of that. A player might not want to come up the road and come into the environment at the moment either.
Fair comment, mate.
We need to try and get players to come in the door to help the squad. And that's all I'm hoping for. And as we do as fans, mate, and when we go and watch the team and follow it, is we just want to see Rangers win. That's all we want, is to see Rangers win. That's what matters to us, That's the only thing that matters to us, so...
And there is a problem with our squad. What we're getting bang for buck, mate, and you look at the amount of people who consistently are up for selection, and when they get selected, they offer absolutely nothing on major wages for Scottish football.
Aye, we've paid a lot of money for all these sort of players and put them on high wages, and that's... We were getting players for the Championship, that's what you do. You give them more money because you're trying to entice them down here, like Cantwell, like Kierendale. They're 2 prime examples, and other ones that we've had that we've kept, like Tav and Golson. We've put their contracts up when it came to renewing them. But we need to get to a point. This is why the CEO and COP and obviously new directors that are going to come into the club. We're bringing in new board members to do specific jobs. They told us that at the AGM. So they'll come in and we need to let him get on with the job in the background. And I dare say we're looking at managers, and we'll be looking to our next manager. If they're no, then there's something wrong, but I believe they will be. He's doing this review that's going to take 3 months, which I was hoping he'd have come in and just assessed everything and go round about it himself, but he's getting an independent review done and all, which is up to him. And I think the last time I heard that get mentioned was when that Graham Wallace was there with the Spivs. Back in the day, when he turned up, he said we would do a 3-month review. That was the last time I ever heard it getting mentioned. But listen, I want him to come in and get the club sorted out in the background, get all areas running. And this season at the moment, it's going to come on to make sure we keep winning as many games as possible. And it's Cotton's job to try and get us a couple of players, because he said a couple. And unless we can get somebody out, there's rumours that Derby County are talking to Tom Lawrence, so we'll see if anything develops for that. But that's what we're looking at. Hopefully 1 or 2 of our players may consider leaving or hanging about doing nothing.
Yeah, it'll be interesting, mate. As I said, mate, it's always the hardest thing is getting people out the door who'll still get 18 months to a year of a contract left. You know, and if particularly if they're not playing much, Stevie, because nobody's going to be that interested in them if they're not playing, because they're always injured.
Yeah, that's correct. We're stuck between a rock and a hard place, mate. Even if we can shift them for less money, it's when it comes down to their wages, the player's going to say, I'm not that. Matondo, what's Matondo? 30 grand a week? What's he on? 30 grand?
Approx, mate. We don't know the details, but he's rumoured to be one of our highest, if not the highest earner, isn't he?
Let's say for talking's sake, 5 million quid, 30 grand a week. So the Rangers are saying to a team, he's 2.5 million. And these can have him. That team's gone right, no problem. So it was down to personal terms with Tondo. You saying, no, I'm not, what? I'm at 30 grand at Rangers. I'm not coming to use for 20 grand a week. Losing 10 grand. I'll sit in the stadium. You've said that 1,000,000 times, mate. You would do it. I would do it. Southside would do it. Any Warrings would do it. And any of our jobs. I mean, if it's the whiskey industry and I'm going to sit there and take the 30 grand and do nothing. It's as plain and simple as that. And that's, we're stuck between a rock and a hard place. And I'll tell you what, guys like Kieran Dowell, Matondo, I mean, Dezers, all these guys, you put all their wages together. I think it was at no use in one of the shows that came up with a figure of 200 grand a week.
10 million, I'll bear writing, but he likes a list. He likes a
For
list.
10 million quid.
Yeah, and wages, and it's what they're contributing. You know, listen, we accept Southside that people get injuries. And I mean, look at Danilo. He smashed, his jaw smashed, and then he gets one right in the tip of his knee at Tynecastle. You know, that's part of the game. We get all that, but people's muscle injuries, and they come back and they're not looking fit and they break down again. I think Matondo started, this is his 3rd season with us, and I think he started 18 league games.
I know, it's pathetic, man. It's absolutely pathetic. And if he's on the reported high end of 20 odd grand, then that's not good enough. That's no return for your money. That come down to Wilson, I think it was, that got him and brought him in. Now, okay, probably came in at the right sort of age and all that, and everything he was looking for, and he's this winger, and he might have been playing well in Belgium at the time, but he'd be had no return from him, you know. And at the moment when money's precious and we're buying players in, we need them to hit the ground running as quickly as possible and be doing well for us. He's certainly one that falls into that category. I get the one with Tom Lawrence. He came at the right age, on decent money, and never had an injury or hadn't suffered many injuries in the Championship playing. But he suffered injuries when he came to us, and now he struggled to get back to anything like we hoped he would be when he first came. He's showed a couple of flashes here and there. He's another one. And Kieran Dowell, you know, I mean, they 3 alone are contributing. Absolutely.
Here's a criticism of the manager for me, with the Kieran Dowell one. See the minutes he's given him, surely it'd be better with Bailey Rice getting them, mate.
That's correct.
You did say that before when they never get minutes against Ross County at Hampden. in hindsight, you've got to remember and all. I thought he'd have been in the squad, to be honest. I thought he might have made
Was
the
he
bench.
on that yesterday?
No, he wasn't, because I actually asked the boy next to me when we went 3-0 up. I says, here's Bailey Rice on the bench. So I'm thinking, get him on the second half and let's see him get some game time, you know. Right, I'll go off because I think you've got a caller in. Oh.
Yeah, we have. Well, I don't know if it's a caller. I don't know if you can call him that. But we've enjoyed Bill Davy.
Good evening, boys. How are we?
All right, Aldrin, how are you?
David,
I am great. I just felt, you know, Stevie and Suicide. I just listened to the show. Very good. I thought I sent you a wee text talks about what I felt, but I think Stevie and Suicide summed that perfectly about what that sort of, well, no say it was a debacle, but I must say, I've so 40 years for over 60 years, and I've seen a lot of ups and downs, but that really hurt me watching that performance. Not the performance, the whole atmosphere in the stadium and the way it was all conducted. And Suicide, they made valid points about who was right and who's wrong. But I tell you, see where we are at the moment, that is the last thing we need. It is the last thing we need. I know something has to come out and, you know, show is it Suicide nailed it? You do it before or you do it after. But they done it the way they done it. But I was sad to see it. I just felt, what else is going to happen? Anyway, but just to get back to some of your comments earlier, I felt somebody was saying we deal well with corners. I honestly don't think that. I mean, I thought we were shocking at that goal.
Oh, we were, mate. We were. It was just a big high ball at the back post. It was so easy for the boy, yeah.
But, I mean, does that know? It has to be sorted. Oh, see, they've got to, obviously I think they must have something going on behind the scenes that somebody's got to come in, because we can't keep playing with different fullbacks in the rank position, centre half who can't header a ball. I mean, they were talking about the boy for St Johnston with the third goal, heading it. I watched that thing with proper a few times, quite a few times. I'm not particularly picking on people, but the quality's not there, guys. It's badly lacking a bit. See, if you goalkeeper out to the back four, we're hopeless. That just can't work anymore.
The things, like, David, there's been times where we were only scoring goals and the defence was doing all right, and people were saying we're not making enough chances, we're not scoring enough goals. If you take the chances we've made in the last few weeks, we could have won all the games, but we're no defending well. I don't disagree with you, mate. Listen, we need a centre half because we're short. Balogun's not going to fit the bill. There's a debate to be had about proper and why we brought him in. I mean, I'm not his biggest fan. He's had some decent games for the south side, but he's had some, let's say, average games as well.
When Davey's talking, I had that one in my mind, Davey. I think he went up to header a ball at the edge of the 18-yard box, and it went like half the side his head, I think, yesterday. I thought he played no too bad yesterday. I thought he won that tackle right on the halfway line. He was physical on the boy.
Davey, we're getting a lot of noise for you, mate. I don't know what you're doing, but keep your hands by your side, mate, please.
the one day.
But listen, we've got to understand, we're playing without our number one goalkeeper. We've got a left back playing right back, we've got a natural left back playing, and we've got one of our central defenders who probably played more the games than the rest of them. And he was to try and marshal them yesterday. It's weak. The defence is weak at the moment. It's only because we battered them at New Year and they never laid a glove on us that we thought that was decent. But then we've seen you can get caught out and it's not as solid as it should be. Sterling's no helping at all, being out injured as well. That doesn't help at all. That boy needs to make sure he can get a right run of games because this isn't good enough at all.
How far?
Yeah?
How far away is Sterling?
Sterling's into probably start of February, I think.
He's
Is what,
injured.
is what they're saying. They were writing them probably back towards start of February.
Aye.
Right, unless something changes, I don't know. But that's what the sort of time scale was put on it at the time. I'll just say something before you go to the tune. I see Kathy posted into the YouTube channel. She got abused yesterday, leaving Ibrox and all. She was putting in what she was called, even calling her a traitor. You know, I'll not say what else they called her because she listed it, but it's sad and that's not acceptable. So I'll say it, and I think we'll say it as a platform. Can he keep abusing Rangers supporters to each other's at each other's throats? Hopefully there'll not be maybe many protests going forward and we'll all stay united, but make sure we all get united, because that's why we have to be going forward for this rest of this season.
Listen, somebody's going to have a single-hand protest right after 55 minutes. He's leaving it, Stephen.
That's correct. I've got prior engagements, boys. I'll need to love yous and leave yous. But can I just say, thanks for having us on the platform and that. And can I just make a plea to the teddy bears? Doesn't matter. It was a peaceful protest this Saturday. The boys walked out. Think of the monkey mob across the city, sharks, attacking the players and everything else. There's difference between peaceful protests and that. So we're better than them. Come on. Think about it. No more arguing amongst ourselves. Just stay united. We've got our opinions. Talk about it in the stands. Talk about it in the terraces. Let's not argue with each other. We can't have that woman in Wayne's getting abused, getting down a stair. Come on. Think about what yous are doing. We're just playing into other people's hands. Right, boys. Love yous and leave yous.
Cheers, mate. Listen, get yourself a mute, gentlemen. Thanks to Stevie for joining us for the first hour, because we're going to have a tune.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Well, we're back, gentlemen, yeah?
Yeah.
Aye. Off a shift, what's that about?
I was looking for double time. Davey, I don't know you're on in the background, but we're getting a lot of noise for you, mate.
I've got a new phone I've got. And I was, well, I want my phone back.
I don't know what you're doing. If it's just too sensitive, mate. It might be picked up your worst one. No, seriously,
Well,
mate.
it's a new phone. I'm just sitting here holding my phone.
Yeah, as long as it's just your phone. Just put it in mute when you're not talking, mate. No, stop, yeah?
Never said a word. Okay, right, go for it.
Put it on mute and then we'll bring you in. You hear your name. Southside, look, if the support want change, we need a plan. They need a plan, and we need a focal point, mate. If we don't have that, and listen, if it starts with a manager, I don't know what that's going to achieve short term, because you've still got the same cares to shuffle. You know, we've still got the same players, same injuries, same everything. If you say that you don't fancy this manager to bring in players because you don't fancy them, that's a valid debate. Listen, if results don't improve, particularly for him, because Ibrox were records fine, let's be honest. We've dropped 2 points in the league this season. Has Clermont be beat Ibrox?
No, I think we drew with Dundee United.
Murrable, was it? Murrable last season.
Last year, but this season I think we'll drop points. Was it Dundee United we drew with or something? 2 points, aye, listen, I think the guy who's meant to have the plan is meant to be the CEO. The chairman's a blue nose, he's a lifelong Rangers supporter. So he'll get the feelings of what he's thinking is the club looking for the outside until he's come in. And we need to brush up, obviously, on at the moment. We need to brush up in the away form. That needs to hang me. If we can get this over the line and we can get 3 points, probably in this Europa League campaign coming up, that'll be enough probably to possibly qualify us into the last 32. So that's going to bring money into the club. And as much as the squad's been inconsistent, we have been consistently decent in that Europa League campaign at the moment, which we'll probably be looking at it and thinking, like come out and said, we're keeping the manager or we're backing the manager for now, but the results have to improve. So there's your answer. So he wants to keep a bit of the stability, I believe, in the manager at the moment, going forward through the European game, try and get a run in the Scottish Cup, and we'll need to keep winning as many league games as we can. And that's what he's doing. But I'd like to think he'll come in and he'll have a plan, I hope never not. But I think they should probably do the fan engagement thing. And I don't think they should just pick certain people all the way through because it's Managerial's people. If the UB and the Rangers Supporters Association want to sit down and have a conversation, then I think there's a couple of representatives for each. I think it'd be good if Rangers, if Patrick Stewart or the chairman or whatever, maybe sat down and said, right, okay, ease out what you are all moaning at, but they should know what everybody's moaning at. You know, we're not winning league titles and we're not being successful in Scotland. There's your answer. That's the answer, but it's how you fix it. And he obviously is no thinking that we're going to get rid of a manager again during the season because we've done it the last twice and it's no worked. So he's probably thinking that's why he's come up to that decision at the moment. And the fact that the home form's been decent, we're doing well in Europe at the moment. We've still got 2 games to try and progress. Because I looked at the table, there's a lot of teams behind us that if they win 2 games and we don't win a game, we don't win another game, they go above us in that table. And I'm trying to look to see who was all playing who, because you're not playing home and away, but we're in a good position. But we think we still need to get at least 3 points out the next 2 games, or 4 points if we can, or 6. Well, obviously we want 6, but 4 or 3 or 4 points will definitely qualify us into probably, I think, into March, and that will be a good achievement. And hopefully, if we can get a right draw, we could go on our stage further. So that, for me, would be progress. But in the league, that's what our bread and butter is, and that's what's not good enough. But it's the away form that's killing us. It's not the home form. It's been the away form.
Playing devil's advocate here, mate. Did it start with the first game of the season, mate? In the league, did it start with, I remember GB and that being particularly right at the start of the season with their issues with the manager, even in pre-season. The tempo was there right and we go to Tynecastle, we're not ready. Yeah, we're not ready. It's still 3 points. It's the first day of the season. Is that?
Aye, have we always, see, I know it's not an excuse, right, but see our many years of watching Rangers, we might win our first game sometimes we haven't in the league away back. We've always sort of, I thought, been sort of slow starters in the league, right? We went to Tynecastle, you're expecting to win, and we didn't. Which, and I think, as you kept saying, the hangover for last season and what all unfolded and what
Can you hear him?
didn't. Nah, I can hear him. Aye, something.
Davey,
I
put
don't know
your
what
phone
he's
in
doing.
mute when we're not talking to you, mate. Please carry on.
But it didn't start well, and people have doubted the manager for a long time. But we're having to try and put a team together. We're playing with dressers up front. We didn't have anybody other strikers. We had only 2 midfielders. It was picking. It was Connor Barron and Diamondi, and we got on with it. And we tried to keep winning, but we dropped points here, there, and like we've done. And we know now, with the way Scottish football has changed, you can't lose 3 or 4 games and still expect to maybe win a league title now, because the rest of these teams that you're playing against don't take points off them where they did in the past. So we need to be exempt when we play in this league now, because it's always been a 2-team league, but Aberdeen, Hearts and Hibs could take points off. We've trapped points there, so would they, over the years, but they haven't been recently. So that means when we drop points, we're on catch-up straight away. So, but listen, I want to give the chairman and the CEO a bit of time, and then maybe have a meeting and say, well, what directors do you want out? Who do you want out? I'd imagine it'll be Douglas Park and Graham Park, right? I would imagine they two will spring to mind straight away. Right, so that's fine. Okay, so Dougie's chucked it at the moment. He's no longer on the board, or he's just sitting maybe talking to them or whatever. But I know he was in the director's box. But that's fine. Who else do you want rid of? And then if you want rid of them, what's happening? Because they're the guys that have got loads of percentage in the club. So how do you buy them out, or what happens? Are you looking for them? Do you want a takeover of other people coming in and taking over the club? That's something that if people like the Rangers Supporters Club and the Union Bears and anybody else out there wants to have, that's what they should be having. We have these fan engagement things and put it to them and say, well, what are you actually going to do here? You know, we want to know. Whether they'll tell you or not, it'll be up to them, but you think we'll give you answers. They're answerable to the shareholders and the support. So that might be a thing going forward if he has the things. I know Bisgrove done them, and I know they were quite popular and it was quite well attended. But you need to give them a chance to speak to them and hopefully get it out there, instead of doing it through social media, quite short notice, and then saying, right, everybody in 55 minutes, just walk out. You know, need to be a more thinking process into it all, going forward, if they're prepared to keep up protests and whatnot. I don't know.
Did you feel yesterday, and I'll bring Dave into this almost like he was there again, but did you feel yesterday that it was the manager that we want to change it? I know a few of the banners were pointing at the whole club and time for change, and they're wanting some maybe boardroom change, but did you feel that the negativity was aimed at the manager, or is he just the focal point of the whole thing?
I remember, back to the statement, I think they said, although the manager's change is necessary, the manager isn't the main issue. But coming for the Union Bears, obviously they'll have issues with certain people and things that have happened to them and the way they've been treated by certain directors and what they've done to them and stuff that's happened in the past, which I know I've heard and been told about it all. That's a separate issue. I just think they want to win things, and they want to see, we all want to see us back winning trophies in Scotland, mate. But how you change it, or how you get that is, well, for me, we need to get better players in the door. That's a fact. We need to build a squad into a healthy squad, and it'll need at least 10 or 12 players coming into this club. Not just to fill numbers. Use a couple of the young boys if you're going to bring them forward.
People will turn up for their work outside.
And listen, most of his players that he signed are turning up for the work. Apart from Cortez, who been out injured, the rest of them, when they've all been selected, have all played. They need help. It's the ones that he didn't sign. There's Sterling, out injured. Played 3 games, whatever, out injured. Lawrence didn't sign him, out injured. Daniel didn't sign him, he was out injured when he first came. Ignaman's turning up. Barron was turning up when he was selected. Jeffrey, Diamandi, Proper. They've all when they've all been picked, they've all turned up. exception that he never signed that's played really well is Raskin. But they need help. It's no rocket science. This squad need help. Look at the amount of injuries we've got and we can't cover it. So that just shows points to we need help. And it's down to the board and the director of football to get the players in, somehow get players in the door and try and negotiate for these people that are sitting in there, not doing anything. I mean, Tom Lawrence was going in the hospitality yesterday. Do you know what I mean? So that's what he was doing. He was going in the hospitality boxes. So he's nowhere near fitness. So sitting there picking up chunky money, okay, did all right to start the season, scored a few goals and that. Fine. You're only as good as your last game. And while you're walking around hospitality boxes saying, aye, how you doing, get a nice photo took and all that, that's not helping us out in the park. So we need to get rid of these players, and it's our fault. Previous director of football, then we never had one. Previous managers, Beale brought in people and they're not contributing, and now we need to get them off a wage bill. And going forward, it's down to Cotton and Patrick Stewart to sort out the contracts, make sure nobody's going into the last year of their deal where they walk out the door for nothing, and the contracts are done right. And then, most important thing, we need to get winning on the park on a weekly basis all the time.
And you come, David.
I think the atmosphere yesterday was directed at everybody, the manager, players, the board. So you can't pick any particular issue because the whole lot's in the mix. But I felt when the boys were walking out, if you look at, all right, we've been rotten in different aspects. Your first half, your second half. The second half was just started, more or less, when the sort of boys were walking out and all the rest. You could hear the atmosphere. And I looked at some of the players and I think, maybe just, I'm assuming the wrong thing, but I think they were affected by that. I don't know what you think of that. Because they've not seen anything like that in their career in their pup, I bet you that.
Listen, there's some of the players I like, some I'm not too keen on, like everybody else. People get different people, but the main crux has been the away form, and there's been no walkouts there, and our performances in either half at times has been poor, David. So sometimes the players get away scot-free. You know, as a collective, you know, because you've got shining lights within that. Raskin's been playing well for the last few months. The boy Igaman's appeared, and we didn't think, let's be honest, we didn't know how he was going to go. He scored 12 and 12. He's an entertainer, so he's maybe gets a pass, maybe Raskin. There's been people that played well at different times. Connor Barron started the season well. He's shaded off, you know, that at different. There's been different players at good games. Cherny has at times showed he's a really intelligent football player. At other times, he's not been so consistent. But look, I don't think I would want to make too much excuse for this group of players' consistency. But ultimately, as we've said before, when a group of players get it wrong, it's always a manager that pays with his job, Southside.
No, you will. But you've got to look at it now, and we've got injuries to a couple of key players. Our number one goalkeeper's out, and anybody thinks that as much as Jack Butland's been flapping about at times, he's still the best goalkeeper we've got at the club at the moment. He's out, and obviously Suter's a big miss. As much as he might not be the best out there, he held the team together and he was starting to play well. And that's been, when you've got the two, that's a key issue for us, because we don't have the quality to come in. And even if Balogun could come in, he wouldn't be able to play the 3 games in a bounce. So then you're having to go and look at, it would have been Sterling we had to have come in, you know, and Paul went in there, and that's not happening because he's no fit. So there's circumstances. Listen, we're 7 games undefeated away from him in Europe under Clermont. There's no many people would have thought that. You know, so there is things that's happening that have been done right. It's the players' attitude and application. That's what it comes down to. Players' attitude and application. And if we talked about it and you looked at the first half against St Mirren, turned up there after a week's rest, disgusting in the first half. He never sent him out to play like that. That's why they turned out and played, and they made changes straight away in the second half. So it's the players. I mean, they need help. We need better quality. And until we get that, we're always going to be sitting here talking about the same things. They'll play well and they'll bat above their average in some games because it will happen. They'll all play well as a unit, and there'll be other times when we'll have 3 or 4 players drop off in the game for that half of that game, and there'll not be enough rest of the players to pull us through for a victory. And that's just where we are now.
Aye. Listen, obviously there's been a lot of negativity or some criticism in the boardroom, and listen, I've no problem with people coming in and creating change, Davey. But however, you've got to make sure that they can take the club forward, and we need to get it right because it's a big factor. Listen, we've seen when Murray walked out the door and White came in, how quickly that went. So I'm not saying we're in that situation, but however, you've got to get it right, Davey.
Oh, you're spot on, Oaks. You're spot on. But this is where we're missing a big picture. We're not rolling about in dough and cash that we could say, or there's 10 million, we'll buy a player. But they're trying. I mean, that guy, apart from trying to get a squad together, has been left with Everton there. No CEO, no chairman, no nothing, and that's all just what swept aside. They don't think of that. It's just because our away form's rotten. There's a bigger problem when our away form being rotten. There's the top to the middle at the club. It's needing sorted, and that'll not happen right away. So everybody's anticipating, we'll be better the next game. It doesn't. I'm afraid it doesn't work that way. So we'll need to grind and bear it, as Suicide says. The injuries, we couldn't buy a bit of luck. And it was happening the season before that and probably the one before that. So we've just got to sit and take our medicine as it is and just react properly.
And we need to get our recruitment right. We need to get our contracts right. Yeah, and that is the management of the club, the football side, the business people dictate suicide. And we need to have the cojones to walk away from deals as well. If people are trying to smoke us out with the deal's too long, too much balance in their favour, we need to walk away suicide. Because if we don't get it right, the mess we end up in with these high wages is frightening.
Aye, I know, and I heard one of them and asking, come on, should we give Ignaman a new contract? Like, mate, he's only having a wee purple patch, you know, he's only in the door and you want to increase his wages. He's got a 4 or a 5 year deal. He can increase it maybe later on in next season if he's still here and he's doing well. And then you might think you might maybe give him an extra year or something. But I don't know what he gets, and this is all just madness. We need to get a wage structure sorted out, which I think we're trying to do. And we need to have it done properly, because some players have just been gave whatever, and that's the way it is. And I mean, Jack Buckland will be on a hefty contract, I would imagine, but he's turning up every week and playing, and it will never really get mentioned. And when you're successful, nobody really cares how much the players are getting paid. I mean, that mob across the city, well, somebody, McCarthy, he didn't even play. They gave him a 4-year deal to help me get home, sit in the house. No, nobody ever brings that up. Nobody cares because they're winning things, so it never gets mentioned. Any player that we've got for winning and successful, nobody cares about how much they get paid. You know, it never ever comes up. It's only when things are happening, and then obviously you're looking at the accounts now in the last number of years, and then you can see that we've got an issue. We've got players that are not contributing and they're taking money. So, and we're struggling now to get them out the door because of their wage, because of what they're getting paid. But you have to find a way somewhere. We can't just let them suck the money out the club for the next year or two. They will have to go. However you send them and train with the B team, bring them in at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It's no nice to do. But you need to get them out the door. So that's what sometimes happens to players. They come in and train at different times now, and they're not going to be part of the manager's plans going forward. Maybe give Dell a game here or there, bring them on, and bring Matondo on, and Sky was live on Skies, maybe to for somebody to notice him. We might have done something good, and somebody might go, oh, well, he's no feature, maybe have a look at him. Whatever it is, but we need to get players out the door at the summer to help, whether it be this manager or a new manager. He needs to have funds. It's the same problems, aye. Same problems.
Same problems, yeah.
He might set you up better, or he might do something slightly different that maybe Clement's no doing. But at the moment, for this season only, it's out away for him. It's absolutely done us this season. Inconsistency and away for him. It's not been the home for him, and we've competed in Europe with a squad that wasn't even ready to probably compete for a league and Europe in all fronts. Because if we took injuries or suspensions, we're too weak. But we've batted above in Europe, and we've won our league games at home, bar Dundee United. So it's the away for him that's done us. That's what's done this league title at the moment. Away for him.
And also took the pressure off him. Right, so listen, good to hear if people get different views. Look, we're not saying that he's perfect, and people come in and they've got the door and they want to get involved with the club. I have no problem with that personally, you know, and we'll see where it takes us. But let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
We're in a real chicken and egg scenario here, Davey. What way did you go to fix things?
Well, it's the thing it's sort of getting to me. It's for the last, since Gerrard went away, well, everybody's always been talking about it. We need to get this right. We need to get this right next season. And then it goes upside down. Same again. We need to get it right. And we're no. And as you said, that can't go on. So it's got to come to, they've got to find something. But I think everybody's looking for a quick fix, folks. And that's not going to happen. And I think that's what's rattling people. And I think I'm getting the feeling now that I feel like some Rangers supporters want him to lose the game to get him out the door. And that's a nonsense. That is a nonsense. But it's got to come, and I think it's a matter of time.
If you feel you're genuinely at the end of your tether with a manager, mate, and all your focal points on him for the performances, and you think that somebody else, it's a valid point of view, because people are frustrated, and that's what happens when you don't get, when your form is so poor. You know, it's so poor. Look, we beat Dundee 1-0 on Boxing Day, and then, was it Boxing Day? No, just before Christmas, and then on Boxing Day we went to Paisley, and the performance was dreadful in the first half, dreadful, and obviously highlighted by the individual error by Jack Butland. And then a few days later at Motherwell, we could have been a couple of goals up. The Bog is up in part twice, and they score twice. Individual errors. We're 2-0 down. Second half was to win 5, maybe even 6-2. Maybe I'll give them a goal, because I personally think that Butler made a mess of that one. So our defending was dreadful, and we didn't play for the full 90 minutes. We then has a performance we didn't see coming. Hibs for the first half an hour, out of this world, should have put the game to bed, fell away. There's a wee bit of similarities. Up in Dundee, just awful. And then Saturday, there's a wee bit of similarity to the Hibs game, Southside. The first half, we're coasting, gets the game, and then the second half, we just fade right out again. We don't play as well. You know, so we've not truly struck 60, 70, 80, 90 minutes together.
No.
Games, and we're not grinding. People wouldn't be looking at that if you were just grinding them out, because that's what happens in league, in titles, isn't it? 1-0.
No, sometimes you've got to grind out games, aye. We've done it over years when you go to win league titles, you grind out a game here and there throughout the season. We're not privy to what's happening in the background. We're not privy to who's available, who's carrying the knock, who's this or that in the background, and he's trying to pick a team. And then he might say, well, you know what, I'm picking you. I know you're tired, or I know you've got a wee knock, but you need to go out and play because I need to keep a strong squad and all that. You don't know. But you can only judge for what you see. but there might be mitigating reasons in the background about this player didn't start or that player didn't start or this team was picked this way. But most of the time the team's been more or less what we think it's going to be most weeks, because we know we've only got 9 or 8 to 9 players that are probably stuck on certainties when they're fit. And the way it's been lately, we all said Gridvan's going to play right back, Jeff T will be left back, and if Proper's fit, it'll be him and whoever's fit next to him at the moment, because that's the way it is. So is it going to be Balogun in another, maybe the next game coming up or the game after, or is he going to be fit, or is it going to have to be Sterling coming back into the fold to play? If Jack Buckland doesn't play next Sunday, I don't think he'll play against Man United. So these are all things that you're looking for. You want to see who's coming back and who's going to be back soon to contribute, especially if Buckland or Suter or Balogun and Sterling. They're the ones that you want to come back straight away. As soon as any of them are available, you want to get them in the team to make it stronger. So, listen, this what needs help, and we need to buy players. And I think we all keep saying it because we all know it. The manager knows it, the fans know it, and I'm sure Compton knows it. And the fact that we're maybe getting linked with a few names of centre-backs and doing that seems to be the most critical place where he wants to get sorted straight away, centre-back in. So that looks like that'll be maybe the next target.
Is that because we try to have a quick fix with Balogun as we're covered man? Because he was our covered man. In hindsight, it may have been a mistake.
Well, we had him and then we released him because I dare say they were thinking we need to find a space at that time for Leon King to come through. And then Leon took an injury. A lot of people said, he's out for months and months, and suddenly they re-signed Balogun the following year. He went and got him, didn't he, and brought him back. And then King was fit, and within a couple of weeks, King was fit. But I think, Balogun's a better player than Leon King. So, but he'll not be here next season, Balogun. This is Balogun's last season. He'll not be here. There's no reason for him to be here. We need to get better players. And we need to put pressure on to Suter. He can't remain, he's our right-sided defender and he's the best we can get. No. We need to get better than John Suter. And then he'll need to fight for his place. Or he can be adaptable because he could play on the left side of defence if that player got injured. He's got experience of doing that. We need to try and get better. That's just a fact. So it's just going to have to wait and see. Compton needs to start doing the homework, know what's available in the budget, which you'll probably speak to the CEO on it, and hopefully before the end of the week or the start of next week, we'll have at least a player or two in the door.
People would say that sometimes maybe the club have listened to the fans and got it right at times, mate. I've read online that people think we shouldn't have got rid of Gio at the time we did, Davey. At the time, it was a popular decision because the wheels had come off and it looked as if there was no harmony between the players and the management. That's how it looked at the time. In hindsight, was that a mistake, in your opinion?
Well, I suppose it's easy to say that, but we can't even. That's gone and dusted. It's gone now. But as I've been talking about, sometimes we're talking about the manager getting it in the neck. I was saying a few times, I've pointed out that we're a jigsaw puzzle and there's about 3 or 4 bits missing. Now, these 3 or 4 bits missing turned up against that Mankey mob. That was your jigsaw complete. And then what happens? We've got a wee run of bad luck with injuries. The jigsaw puzzle goes to pot. That's swings and roundabouts. We just can't legislate for these injuries. He's got to shuffle it back. But he's the guy they're all going to say, his substitutions. I mean, his athletic substitutions were atrocious. But who else has he got on that bench? And he's got to get some capital and help him out. That's my opinion anyway.
I think to get capital, we need to get people out the door. Same question yourself, so say just interested in your views, mate. In hindsight, we ended up with Beale coming in, 28 games in management with Queen's Park Rangers, nobody the finest record in the world. He'd been with us before as a coach, of course. However, it's a big difference being the number 1 and being the number 2/3, yeah?
Aye, we found that out, obviously. Do you know, a lot of supporters were for it and that, and some weren't. But they made that decision. And you seen the way that went. So we done it during the season and we done it before when we got rid of Gio. Gio had his faults in the league. It wasn't happening, but maybe, and it's only maybe in hindsight, he might have got it right in time, because if he'd had the money that Bill got to spend, then it would have been better. He was trying to buy a player for Denmark and he was told we've got Matondo, and he was wanting a centre back, get told we were getting Ben Davis. So that's the way it was. And you can see how they two turned it. So it's all in hindsight. The thing is, we need to get it right now, and that will come down to assess the manager, assess what he's done. And if you look at it, he'll say, well, it's a failure because you've just no won the league and you're X amount of points behind. But then you need to go and look at what's the mitigating factors for that. Injuries, suspensions, squad no big enough, no enough depth, blah, 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 whatever they assess.
Quality,
and then
quality, mate.
No, the quality into the squad, and then say, well, if we can get, or if he goes, look, I can get these players, these will all make a difference into your squad, they'll all make us better. And then it'll be down to see, are you the captain of the ship or am I changing the captain of the ship? And that's what it'll come down to. But whoever comes in, this is going to get done, because he can't have another 2 or 3 transfer windows down the road to get a squad together. You know, that can't happen either, because that's not going to cut the mustard. That's all right if you're maybe just lost a league one year and you're maybe adding a few players or whatever, and you've been winning stuff. But when you've not been, and you go, oh, by the way, it might take another 2 seasons for us to get any silverware or be competitive, sport's not going to have it. We're not going to have it. You've got to say, no, you've had plenty of time. You've made a pig's ear it for long enough, and now you want us to wait another couple of years. That ain't happening. So that's when the pressure will come on the board. The now, they've just done the safe option. The guy's doing it now, and he said, well, basically, home form's good, European form's decent. Aye, you'll probably say to me, make sure you can try and get a Scottish Cup in the bag, and if you can get us into the last 16, even into Europe, it'd be a good achievement. Any further than that, it'd be a bonus with the squad that we've got. And that's what will be on the table. That's what we've got left. Win as many league games as we can, try and get that Scottish Cup, and try and see how far we can go in Europe. That's what we've got left.
Aye. Which is quite annoying. Can you consider that the cheap points we've dropped where we could have been, and putting maybe a team under pressure who are getting to play football without any pressure on them in the league. But listen, you make your own luck. You make your own. It's up to you where you defend and up to you where you score goals. You know, it's the only way you win football matches. Keep the ball at one end and put it in the other day. There.
Well, this is why I heard Albert getting in the neck the other night, a couple of shows ago, that he's shouting about somebody come on John, I think, a Rolly or somebody that was getting him out about because he was doing his cheerleaders for Clement. He seemed anyway. Clement doesn't put the ball in the net. Clement doesn't stop it. He can't tackle the ball. It's the players. Come on, it's the players. If they don't turn up and play a game, the manager, that's not the day with a manager. All we can hope for is he can get, as you say, Docs, get some of the garbage away. Get that cash out the door. Get something in, hopefully, and this time get the right players. And until that guy gets the right ones, I'm sticking with him anyway. And I know that will not get done well with a lot of people. But you can't blame him all the time. The players are the ones who put the ball in the net.
Oh, listen, I think there's a lot of criticism on the manager. I've got my own personal complaints with him that I've heard loads of time up here. And I get that. I mean, but he does. There's been the odd decision that doesn't add up. Southside that, like bringing players on at different times. And Matondo, I played for nowhere up at, I know you said you were live on Sky, but I never even considered that. He came on, I'd have took him back half again, personally.
I would have known, because he done nothing. He was a waste of a jersey, right? But he tried to get him game time, him and Cortez against Celtic at Lesser Hampden, and that Cup final when they played 45 minutes. They struggle to, there's no B team league, there's nothing where they can go and get game time. So he's having to try and bring them in and give them some game time. And that's what he done with Matondo and Cortez, and he'll probably keep doing it until probably Cortez is his player. He should probably feature more, I think, than Matondo will. In short term, Matondo would hopefully be going out the door. But he's putting them on the park, and because at some point he might have to maybe use them, and he's trying to get some fitness into him, even if he's probably going to sit on the bench more than that. Kieran Dell's the same. And sometimes a couple of the subs you think, what you doing? But I get what he's doing if he's trying to rest players for like Aberdeen. I wanted Hadji off the park. I wanted Cherny off the park. I wanted Raskin off the park. I wanted all them off straight away as quickly as we could to keep them, make sure they were all right for Wednesday night against Aberdeen. And then Sunday, I want as many rested as we possibly can for Thursday, because it's a bigger game. And I know it's a Scottish Cup tie, but it's Fraserburgh.
Should be enough to see them off, shouldn't we?
Aye. So you should be able to play a lot, and NCL should be able to come back out and play, which you might not play on Wednesday if Sterling's back. It's a good chance he wouldn't play. But play him against Fraserburgh. Bailey Rice a game against Fraserburgh. Danilo and Hadji play because they can't play against Man United. Probably play Dessers. No, you'll have to utilise the squad and it's going to be Conor Barron. Will need to probably come in and play. So we'll use what we've got. It's no great, but we'll use what we can. And some of the first team players will probably have to go. That might play on Thursday night against Man U. Might have to. A few of them might need to take the part. But that aside, we've got to go out there and hopefully whatever team and squad that we put out will certainly get the job done. It's Ibrox. So shouldn't be an issue. Our B team could beat Fraserburgh. I'm not kidding.
Aye. But this is where we've got a lot right. I mean, we should have went 3-4-5-0 yesterday and meant that they could do what you like. It's not happened often enough. We've always, even yesterday, we let the team back in it. When they got the goal, you think, wait a minute, they're going to get a fluke goal here and we're going to be hanging on at the end. Don't tell me that never crossed your mind, David, because it crossed mine.
It did actually. And I got a notification that came up on my phone before I was watching it on Rangers TV, and I got a notification on my phone when it was 3-0, and obviously the game was a wee bit behind, or whatever you want to call it, and forward, and my phone dinged, and I said, I bet they've scored. I said, and it was just before they were all going to walk out, and I went, this is not going to do well. But yeah, that's the sad bit of you can feel that coming, and that's just basically doing because we don't have any confidence in it. I mean, our bench the last couple of times is who else can he bring on? He's not got a great. I mean, Dessers, McCausland, Dowell. Nah, that's going to change. That's going to change.
I think Southside mentioned it, strength and depth. Southside is. With injuries and the form and the personnel, there ain't no strength and depth, and we're really short.
Aye, we did say it was good that maybe Tom Lawrence or Matondo, Cortez. I'm not so much in Cortez because I think in long term he's got a long term future, but the ones that we think are on short term, you want them to come on the park and do something. That's what you want them to do. Come on and contribute to this team, and the fact that we're coming back for injury. And Dowell, who's been fit now for quite a while, but no featuring, so that to me would think that he's going to be one that he's going to try and get out the door. Although he gives him some game time here and there, which annoys me. I'd rather put a young boy on and give him a chance. But the pressure's on him, pressure's on the players, pressure's on the manager, and we've brought that upon ourselves due to the poor away performances. So he's not got room to get another draw or another bad performance that causes more points. We need to try and be as perfect as we can now at the end of the season. But that's the pressure that's on you when you come to Rangers. So he talked to young boys up and on. I think I'm just disappointed. It annoys me because I think if he can take some time on them and try and nurture them and bring them in and give them a wee bit of time here and there in certain games, you'll bring them on rather than just keep them on the bench as a box tick and then forget about them. You can say they're not good enough. Some of them might not be just ready to now, but you'll only get them ready if you play them and give them some game time. But we'll see what happens going forward. Whatever manager comes in next, we've got some boys there, but whether they'll get used or not, we'll soon find out.
Mm-hmm.
Can I ask you something, Susie?
Carry on,
Can I ask you
David.
to say something?
Carry on, mate.
Do you really think, and when you talk in the terms of that if another guy comes in, a new manager comes in, I don't think that has got a snowball's chance in hell of happening.
But I'm talking about if he gets rid of him at the end of the season, if they decide to, and a new manager comes in. I still don't think the young boys, many will get played either, because the pressure's on that manager to first of all get you qualified for Europe, or if we go into group stages, whatever it is, and it's about winning straight away. So the pressure's on you. You've not got time to bring your young. Bailey Rice will be sparingly used, I think. It'd be good to see him on the park. I think at some point, the whole support at Ibrox or what will go at one day, wow, look at that, what have we done? Because the boys get that in him. But it's down to him to try and get in the team. But now, when I look at the team, I don't see him can't see him forcing his way into that team now. I don't see him getting in before Raskin or Diamonde at the moment. So that's the way I look at it. But I want him to try and get game time. He's only 18. He's got plenty of ability, the boy. You just need to nurture him the right way. But we need to try and bring him through at some point. No point having a talented boy if you're not going to play him. All leagues all over Europe play young boys at 17 and 18, 19. And all leagues in Europe, they're all playing. But up here in Scotland, we think, oh, you're not ready, you're about 20, 21. If you're good enough, get out and try and take the pressure. We'll be more understanding about a young boy out there maybe making a mistake than we will. I mean, in saying that, McCausland's getting abused at times and he's a young boy, but he's played out of position. That isn't his position. But I just want some of the young boys to succeed. They're all blue noses in that academy, a lot of them, and I've been watching them coming up. And Josh Gentles is another one. He got mentioned the other night, scored 2 against Man United in a final that we won for the under-19s. And I watched that young boy make his debut for Rangers in the B team, and I've watched him now, and he's certainly a better player. You can see he's made a difference to his game. But he's a striker, and how many strikers get a chance to come on and play for Rangers? Robin Ure was the last one, and he didn't want to sign a contract. He went to Anderlecht. That's where he moved to. And the other boy, it was a star, went to Aston Villa because they prized him away straight away. But Josh Gentles has looked decent, but he's still a very, very young boy. But it's good to see that he was well. A lot of clubs have been looking up now, they said, for what he'd done the other week at that tournament that Rangers won. So, well, I've never won it, but they were going to play 2 games, German team and somebody else. But he seemingly was well noticed at that tournament by a lot of scouts all over Europe.
I know what you're going through, Suicide, but I think you picked me up on the wrong thing I was talking about. I wasn't referencing to the giving the boys a chance. What I was saying about when you were saying about a new manager, that's what I'm saying. There's no snowball in hell that's going to happen. The way they're all talking about the board. So that's we've just got to remember where we are, and that's where it is going to stay.
Listen, it's a results-driven industry, and if around one, even the guys that maybe feel as if he should be getting a wee bit more time, anything happens, mate, the screws just got to turn tighter. And you know what football directors are like, they usually react, and the manager pays for his job, whether you think it's right or wrong. That's, I've been saying, I can see only one end to this when the away form's been so bad, because there's a whole calendar year now. Davey, then Southside.
I know what you're saying, but I don't get this. I really don't. We can't afford to sack that guy for a start.
There's two sides to that coin, Davey. When the interest drops off and you have a lot of empty seats and you're not selling the merchandise on the day, you might not be able to afford to keep them.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, Oaks. It's a catch-22 scenario. I know what you're meaning. But where we are at the moment, that's just no. It's not going to work like that. It might be in the distant future or whatever you want to call it. At the moment, we've got to play with the cards we've got, and the manager we've got, and hopefully things will get better in the boardroom. Blah 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 blah, and then it starts clicking in. Until that happens, we've got to believe, guys. We've got to believe.
Southside.
Aye, you've got to trust the process at the moment. We've got to let the new guys come in and trust the process. And listen, I know what you're saying. Listen, see, at the start of next season, everybody, the vast majority, if not just about everybody that can possibly do it, will renew their book. That's what we do. We renew our book because we go and support the team. So it might drop off where people might sub their seats and all that. I get that. And there'll be times, I can tell you, it usually comes around about December time, Ibrox gets a bit less because people have got other things to do and the crowds drop off a wee bit. And there was a bit yesterday, you can see there was a lot of people who didn't go to the game, didn't actually go. I think they still gave a crowd about 43,000 or something, but there was a lot of people who didn't go. But at the end of the day, Ox, it doesn't matter who the manager is. We'll still go and support the team. And that's what will happen come at the end when the renewals come out in April. Everybody will go and renew their books. And hospitality will still be full, probably, because the people that buy all the hospitality boxes will still go. I don't get this, that they'll not go. They will go. Because they're giving it out to businesses. They're giving it out to people and they're all turning up. So that will go. The only people that might not go will be people, ordinary supporters that are in the stand might choose maybe not to go. But I think the vast majority out there of the support, we've been loyal for long enough, so what's going to matter another season? You know, we're not happy. It's the away form's the problem here. It's nothing else. And we're drawing games. No, apart from getting them early, the fourth game of the season in the supercomputer, when we're trying to get a team together, fair enough. I mean, the years before that, they waited to nearly October to play one of the games against them, the first game of September it was. No, they waited nearly 8 games to play them. So, whatever the supercomputer. So, aye, we were up against it going there within 4 games with the squad we had. But it's the away form that's killing us with the draws. You know, so if you can rectify that, it's not like we're going away from home and we're getting beat 2 and 3 nothing by draws like St Mirren and Aberdeen, St Mirren and Kilmarnock and all that. We've had the odd defeat here or there, but it's been draws that's killed us in the last few games there, and that's what's caused everyone to burst. Nothing else.
Well, the 3 draws and the defeat, mate. I mean, there's 9 points in there, aren't there?
Aye, that's it. Aye, at the start, aye, and we were on catch up, and then it just snowballed because these players, for whatever reason, couldn't get the job done away from him in games.
Also,
in the league.
was the criticism came from there when you think back? We know he was one day came away from Burton. We know you're trying to protect him because he covered some ground, but when you don't start rasking against it more than you don't win the game, the criticism grows on the manager.
Aye, but we should be good enough to leave a player like Raskin out for a game and give him a bit of freshness and put somebody in it can at least do most of what he could do. It shouldn't make a big deal of difference, but it is at the moment because we don't have the backup players to come in. We're playing a left back at right back.
It's not the first time that's happened, mate.
I know, but you've got to look at it in context now. Our number 1 goalkeeper's out. No matter what sort of form he's in, he's still out. And our centre-back that we would really rely on in Suter is out. And there's where lies the problems. And up front, now we've got Ignaman and Danilo trying to get more regular game time, and he played the 2 of them this time and we got the result. If he plays the 2 of them against Aberdeen and we get a result, fine. Our home form's been decent. It's just frustrating, it's just annoying. There's nothing worse than Rangers no doing well and dropping points, and then everybody's a football manager. But we've got, I mean, he's managed the game, he's played the game, he's been international, he's played in big tournaments, he's won trophies and he won leagues in where he was in Belgium. So he knows probably more about football than I do. But so I've just got to go with, hopefully his judgment will be right for the rest of the season. He's getting to the end of the season. That's it. He's getting that. So
it looks that way, mate. Unless, you know, if there was one honking result in there, I think the clamour could become too big. But it looks that way. But it'll be also interesting how much support they give them in the window with bringing players in. I think that'll be quite telling as well, Davey. Eh?
Exactly. That is what it's all about. The guy can only play the cards that he's got. Now, that's all he has. He can't even waver. I'm not going to come on. I love the come on spout, but it's down to who he's going to play. And at the moment, the squad, we're all over the place. We're missing this, we're missing that. That's just where we are. So until that changes and we get a wee bit of strength in it, I mean, I'll say it again. You can't get. How do you get rid of a manager? Who's going to come in and turn that team into a winning team? Well, ask me that. Tell me that.
You've still got the same cards to shuffle, mate. Yeah, you're moving the deck chairs in the Titanic, mate, with the players till you get new bodies in, get other people at the door, and move on. I mean, who people would want at the door? Some people might see it slightly different. You know, I just want guys who are available and enhance the squad. I want some quality. I'm not saying we're going to sign 10 players for 10 million, but we have to be a wee bit smarter in recruitment. We have to be smarter in our contracts outside. And I'll say it again, we have to cojones to walk away from some deal.
Aye.
All right for the football club.
Aye, well, we've got Cotton in now. Well, the last guy, manager we done the deals, we never had anybody to oversee it. You know, so he went and got these players and gave them contracts and whatever it was, we paid them in wages. But now you're hoping to keep it going right, and we'll need to try and keep a hod of copping. I mean, I want a manager in if it comes to it. When he gets sacked, right? If he gets asked to leave, that'll be the time. I support him, and I want him to do well. I want him to keep winning games as many as possible because I want Rangers to win. So it's no rocket science. Am I happy with all his decisions he's made? Has he made mistakes? Aye, he has. But all managers will. And I know we're struggling for players in certain positions to make us stronger. If we'd Casemiro, Sterling fit and Suter fit, that would have made a difference to that whole back line straight away. But we don't. It is what it is. And we need to go on with it and we need to battle. And like I say, we'll lose Czerny, we'll lose Hadji and all that come the end of the season, no doubt. And the rest of the ones we all want out the door if we can get some of them out. So there'll be a lot more players coming in. We'll have to. It's just a matter of fact. But we are where we are now. And come Wednesday night, we'll be going out with the same sort of team that we more or less watched against St Johnston. And we'll need to hope that they're up and battling and get the result. Because Aberdeen's no 1-1 and about 10. So they're not coming down the road, but we know they'll be up for it. So, and I'm sure we will be, you know. And hopefully the support on Wednesday night will stay united. That's all I want.
There was only one change in that team yesterday for the last home game. One change.
And Bezrami came out.
Aye. Aye, that was it. Anyway, Davey, last word to your good self.
Aye, thanks for listening to me, and I must applaud Suicide for his very valid points and yourself. But we've got to keep believing, guys, and it will come. But we've just, as you say, it's patience is a virtue, but that's easier said than done. Anyway, thanks for listening to us, and God bless the Jers, guys, and good night.
Cheers, Davey. Speak to you soon, mate, yeah?
I was going to say cheerio to me, but he's gone.
Last word for your good self, Southside. Well done, mate.
Aye, no, it's always good to come on and talk about the famous Glasgow Rangers, but we always hope we've all got opinions, mate. That's the one thing, we've all got opinions, and we're all passionate about the club, and we all think we're all football managers and experts, and we all give an opinion, and we just want the best for the club. It was good today, the first half, with my big mucker. Good to hear him on.
You walk out in 55 minutes, mate. Did you?
Aye, I did. I had a wee look, aye. But no, listen, hopefully get to Ibrox on Wednesday night. The place will be rocking. Hope for a good atmosphere in the ground. And as we're looking for his Rangers to gauge 3 points. and we'll move on to the cup game on the Sunday. So looking forward to Wednesday night, mate. Enjoyed the show tonight. Thanks for having us on, and as always, there's only one team and one crown.
Yep. Listen, thanks to your good self and Stevie for supporting the show. Thanks to Davey for joining us. Fox and Old School Blue for doing the technicals. Rangers Radio will be back tomorrow night between 8 and 10. And just a quick shout out for anybody out there. Listen, we couldn't get the show yesterday for various reasons. People at the game, a couple of people ill. However, people want to get involved and help us out. Feel men and welcome. Yeah, men and welcome. Thanks for listening. Take it away, Old School Blue.